I did some soul searching for a few months to lead up to it, and this is where, like I said, something deep within me had realized that that path was no longer working for me. And then over a period of months, it kind of trickled into my consciousness, and whenever the moment came, it was like, yeah, I'm done. Today's the day. Today's the the big capital D decision. So in that moment, I quit. We quit my job. I quit my job, cold turkey. We went camping, and it was that moment of save yourself kind of thing, because the what got me here would not get me there. And it wasn't that place was evil, bad, and corrupt and toxic. It was just that it was not right for me. It's like putting a freshwater fish in saltwater or vice versa.
Right.
There are things that can live happily in those environments. I just was not one of them. and so that was a huge quake for me, because nothing was right.
So in the same way he came back in the tent, we ended up going on this camping trip together, and he came back in the tent one morning and he said, well, I just did it. I did a YouTube video. I went from vice president to I quit today now. Bye. I mean, he was a little more tactful than that. But in essence, just that moment that comes that says, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And it's done.
It's done.
It's done. It's childbirth. It's that moment of, this may rip open everything, this may hurt, it may kill me, but it's done and I'm done. And that last final push that says, this is coming into creation, this change, this new version of me is coming into creation. And
I drew a chart, and I'll show it on here. So imagine, we've all seen the natural distribution, right? The normal distribution, of like the bell curve of human existence. And we all assume that we're like dead center in the middle of that, because when you look at life, you think, oh, that's normal, right? I'm normal. We're all normal. And then there's that one day where you realize that you've shifted over. It's been like an earthquake that happens, and your normal chart is not actually overlaid and aligned exactly with what you thought your life was.
Right.
And that's the confusing piece, is because you have like the self-help stuff over here. This is where there's these things in your life where you thought you were aligned and you're not. And so you're taking all these self-help classes on how to win friends and influence people, how to organize your life, how to be a time management, how to, what are some of the other ones that people do? How to eat healthy, how to
30-day challenges for weight loss,
procrastination, get rid of your spare tires, all this stuff that you're like, okay, so my life does not innately or natively align with this, so I'm having to like work my ass off on all these random New Year's resolutions and challenges and diet bets and all the other things that are just struggles, because it's just not natively aligned with you.
Right.
And then you have this other piece over here. This is the like the self-discovery. This is all the cool curiosity things that you've kind of been drawn to, but your existing friend group would be like, that's weird, dude. But you're like, I kind of want to try it. I kind of want to know more about this. I kind of want to, like, you go and you bump into someone who's talking about, like astrology or something just so foreign and curious, and you're
Pokemon
like,
Go.
Yeah, Pokemon Go.
Whatever it is.
And you're like, you kind of want to talk about it, but it kind of doesn't fit in with your normal distribution of life, and you realize suddenly, oh my God, like I don't really fit in with my own normal distribution of life. Like, if I were just being me, I would let go of these self-help diet bet challenges, and I would just embrace that part of me that really enjoys Pokemon Go. And so, but what's weird is you see this little piece in the middle. This is that safety piece. This is that portion of you that is can go either way, and you start, and sometimes instead of expanding into this new zone, you kind of retract, and you get all this anxiety and depression because you kind of feel like you're shaming into this space, and you're ashamed of this space that you don't want to be in. You don't know what to do, so you're like retracted into this very small sliver of safety. And your earthquake happens when you go like, authentic self is safe everywhere.
Right.
And so it's just a matter of self-discovery, I think, for me.
Yeah.
That's how that fits.
Yeah. It's about aligning with your true self, the part of you on the inside that feels led or guided or directed by inner joy. You follow it, and you end up becoming more authentic and more open and more joyful. If you're following anything on the outside of you, I need to be more like the top salesman. I need to be more like the super mom. I need to be more like the guy who has all the cars and the big house and the big position. When you're searching out here, you're always going to find dissatisfaction or discontent or some sense of angst because you're in that part where you're shaming yourself in order to do it. I'm not good enough as I am, therefore I need to pick up all these extra skills or talents or whatever. But when you follow that inner voice, you're free to be any part of it.
Absolutely.
You can go into a self-help class if it really interests you, and you can go to a Pokemon Go raid.
Well, your self-help changes. Instead of doing things that
Right.
are fundamentally not aligned with you, like
Right.
how to, I'm trying to think of like the win friends and influence people. Those are ultimately how to change your behavior to fit into another scenario. You can start doing self-help on like how to garden
Yeah.
with compassion, how to do, you realize you really love plants and animals. And there's a part of that you don't understand. So your self-help becomes part of your self-discovery.
Right.
It all becomes an alignment. And you're like, there's a really cool nugget of who I am. And I want to pull that out and play with it.
Right. I'm not helping anything, I'm discovering.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
a great
not-
way of seeing it.
I'm
yeah.
not modifying, a core bit of my personality in order to fit into this bell chart of fun. I'm really just learning how to do something that I really like to do anyway, a little bit better.
Yeah.
A little more effectively, efficiently.
And that keeps you changing, like you were saying. If you're not changing, you really are stagnant.
Yeah.
And then the next step is death.
And once you step into that authentic self and you start doing things that align with your soul and you start dropping the things that are like just burdens to you, what you realize is your life changes as well. You stop having, you want to go to bed and get up early. You want to see the sunrise because you now have a part of yourself that says, that's cool.
Some of us want to see the sunrise.
Some of us, yeah.
But I follow what's right for me, and that's the beauty of it. His authentic self finds joy in that. And it was a growing thing for us to realize that we have different ways of doing it.
Well, on that note, though, like I used to get up and do sea turtles in the morning, and so every week I would be up and I would see the sunrise at least 1 or 2 days, and I'd be out digging nests and stuff. And once I got into right alignment with myself, I realized the beach is also there at 10 a.m.
Right.
And so
He's coming to the dark side.
So yeah, but I get up.
But no, yeah.
I still get up. There's things that I appreciate
Yeah.
and I go do, but
Yeah.
I'm not chasing something any
Right.
longer.
I think that's the difference is you're following yourself. When your self needs a little more rest, you allow that space. When your self feels excitement of going to the beach at 4 a.m., you go at 4 a.m. If it's going to a rocket launch or it's going to something with friends last minute, whatever that feeling inside you is, if you follow that, then you know you're on the right path to fulfillment for yourself.
And you bring a sense of excitement of life with you when you get there, so that whenever you get to those places that you actually want to be, and there's a part of your soul that's truly lighting up for it, then you attract the crowd of people around you who also are saying, I kind of want to be here as well, and I'm looking for someone else who's excited too. So then whenever you pull out Pokemon Go and you're in Sweden and people are like, and you're like, yeah, I don't know you, but we're having a good time. You can start building a tribe in those places and actually have a good experience.
And it makes for a beautiful support system because while you're finding these new fun, curious things, you're also shifting relationships. You're finding that there are certain relationships that I can't participate anymore. There are places that I don't want to go anymore. It could be a job, it could be whatever that you decide in your life. I don't like the way I dress anymore. I don't like my house anymore. I don't want to live here anymore. These major things can come up as you're experiencing, and if you have started leaning just as much into the curiosities, then like Steve said, you start creating a support system of other